if you want to teach compassion, all you can do is be compassionate and love.
But yeah, as we are becoming more raw or vegetarians or vegans, the animals are also changing their diet.
Yeah.
This is what we are saying. Animals are changing their diet. So,
and changing their behaviors, and it's true because we know that the whole earth is ascending. So it would make sense that all the living creatures would ascend as well, right?
it's totally logical. Why they are going to be exceptions? And we haven't noticed maybe in terms of the plant kingdoms. Maybe you have had the experiences. What I have the experiences of is that in England, I'm growing stuff that shouldn't grow here in England. And that to me can go in the same line too.
Very cool. I never thought about that. Yeah.
Because this is a very cold place, a very wet place, and I'm growing tomatoes, I'm growing peppers, I'm growing stuff that it shouldn't grow here. It shouldn't. I mean, in the middle of winter, have peppers?
Yeah.
What? Really? No.
Yeah.
No, and I'm not creating a summer house.
No,
they are just like decoration.
Yeah.
In the kitchen, like it's the coldest maybe area of the flat, and still they grow there. So I had a massive pepper like this. Also, I have to say that all of that happened from the moment I started talking light languages to them.
Wow.
Which is another.
That's pretty special. Yeah.
But one thing is not separate from the other.
Yes.
Ascension light languages are part of the same thing.
Oh, yes.
So that started happening when I started talking light languages to them. Well, it's part of ascension. So it's actually confirming what we are saying.
Yes, it is.
But things as we know, these things we also realize as we go on talking. And this is the magic about working with people who are vibrating, and that's why we do this type of chats, because Erin and I, we already know for a while. We also collaborate in light languages groups that they usually are run on Thursdays. And then we know that we had this connection. This connection, we had like a gap that we didn't meet for a while. And then we met again, we came back again, we felt the call to connect again. And then we are more connected than ever before. And that's why we are going to bring whatever we feel like bringing. Honestly, we do this as we go. We do this spontaneously. We don't plan this ahead, and we are going to do it if Erin feels happy to do these things. She feels the call also, like I feel it in my heart. Because what I feel in my heart is that we all know us. We all should start talking with our heart loud. And the more we are gonna feel like contagious. Because it's contagious. When you see people talking naturally, you get contagious from that. Maybe not the first time, but maybe with the second video, you say, look at these guys. These guys are talking just so naturally, and they are recording that. And they don't really worry about publishing these things that they are talking about. And some of the stuff that they talk about, they are really abstract, and there are things which are really sensitive, something that I would have never thought to bring out there and talk openly to the world.
That's true.
And then when we see that, the human being, we have this tendency that when we observe, we normalize things, and then we lose the fear. So that's why I'm feeling this call of, first of all, these gatherings with my sister Erin, with my sister Melissa, with my brother Wesley. This hasn't been programmed. I mean, we haven't done that consciously, let's say, speaking. We just felt like life put each other there. And then we started from a 0 point, and then we felt a connection in that 0 point. And we say, how, if we are in the 0 point, we are feeling so much. There must be something here behind and everywhere. And that's why we continue, because we were feeling good. We were feeling good with each other, and we were feeling like we speak the same language of the soul. So we continued. And here we are after a few years, and now we got this thing about. I received some guidance, obviously, that I should start bringing more videos outside. Erin has been doing that already for a while. From the first time that I met her, she was doing already that, and she has her Instagram channel, haven't you?
Yeah.
What's the name?
So it's light and quartz, but it's light_and_quartz on Instagram. Yeah, and I have quite a few like transmissions or just out in nature or songs, and hopefully a lot more to come on there as well.
So is that what you're going to see there from Erin's channel is exactly what we're doing here. She feel guided to share something with you guys, and she just share it.
Very naturally too, and so that, and it's funny because a lot of those videos actually on my Instagram was fun. I recorded them when I first started to come out with my light language, and I was so nervous, but the thing is that the world is so big online that there's bound to be people out there that feel what's in your heart and will resonate, and those right people will come to you. So what I did was just kind of put myself out there, and I was guided. My guides just told me to sit down in front of the camera and just be authentic, right? And so there's like a little bit of me talking, and then there's a little bit of light language, like let's see what comes through. But if you go back to my earliest video, you can see how nervous I am, because that's the first time I wanted to come out. And I even said, I'm coming out of the closet, like, and it's so true. So if anyone is just trying to kind of break into being authentic and they're shy and maybe they speak light language, but they don't share it, maybe those videos will help, because there was sometimes I wanted to take them down because I've improved since I made those early videos, but I leave them there because I feel like somebody somewhere might need to see where I started, because you can see how nervous I am to bring things through. You can see all the raw emotion there. And so even though there's my ego personality that says, oh, those aren't very good, take them down, my soul says, leave them up, because someone needs to hear it, someone needs to see it. And that's my journey, right? And then you can see how much I've progressed since then into my own embodiment and into my own self-confidence, right?
Part of the archives, and in the archives we show to people that we are as you are. I mean, we are all the same, and that's why we leave those videos there. Something that maybe today we will think like, oh my God, well, how should I leave that video there? Like Erin just said, there is that part of the, like Erin said, of the ego saying, just take it off, because now what you do is totally different. But no, I felt the same. I felt that those are very important for all the people who are feeling the call, who are feeling the call to also start talking. And to everything loud. I know that you are already talking, but we are talking about something else. We are talking about talking with your heart in front of people, something that we have freaked out for a long time.
Yeah.
And also, if you go to my channel in YouTube, you can find me with Ismael A. Rodriguez. If you go to the first video, you will see me also with that anxiety and paying attention to everything, because I wanted everything to be perfect. And honestly, that perfect that comes from the mind doesn't exist. So if this can help you in any way, I hope so. I mean, I'm sure that it will, because if I saw something like that at the time, that would have helped me a lot. And that's what I have felt every time that I've been questioning if to take those videos from the beginning away or not. It's like if I saw something like that, I would have given me more, let's say, patience, love, compassion.
Like encourage that you can do it too, right? Like
exactly, more encouragement, and not feeling. I remember having those feelings like of worry after the recording, and say, "Oh my God, that wasn't totally right." I mean, there are so many things to improve there. Did I say that right in English? Did I say that? Or is a Spanish thing that came to my mind and translated literally from? And all of these things were like, and then I was like, even my digestive system was upset.
Oh, I tossed and turned. I couldn't sleep. I was like, I was rolling in my bed all night, like not feeling good. Like, I can't believe I did this. But I did it.
So we are not going to edit this part. We are not going to edit this part. Because people need to see this. You need to see this, guys. I know, honestly, we invite you to truly come out and speak with your hearts. Because you are not doing that only for people. You are doing that to yourselves as well. Because I'm sure that Erin is going to confirm this also in a moment. When you do this, what you are truly doing is freeing yourself. You are not doing that only for people. You are benefiting people simultaneously, but you are at the same time healing yourself, facing your fears, facing all the stuff that maybe Erin and I, maybe a few years ago, we wouldn't think about being in these light languages groups that we are running today. We wouldn't be speaking those light languages, or maybe sharing those things that they sound so abstract sometimes, like codes or things that even to our mind at first sight doesn't mean anything. And maybe we let it go, and maybe an hour later in the same group, or next week, or after a month, we find the meaning and the understanding. So we have learned so much to let go, whether our mind understands something or not. We know now that if it's coming through, it's for a reason. And the reason and the understanding doesn't need to be instant. It can happen at any moment. So the people that you are supporting, firstly, is yourselves. If you come out there and you start talking with your hearts, because you are facing those fears that most of you might have from having a difficult transitional period of teenager or childhood, where we were told of not doing certain things, that they were natural, that they were things that a child will say, without any harm, without any meaning of harming or hurting anyone. And they were shot. They were shot so often. And we were shot so often.
Yeah.
So all these wounds, we have proven over the years also with the healing practices that we do, that those things from childhood and teenager time are the ones that also shape a lot your adulthood. So that's why we invite you to also come out and talk loud with your hearts, because you are the first one who starts the healing. Is you with yourself, just by expressing. And yeah, it sounds crazy, but yeah, expressing is healing. It's total healing. Once of my dream coming to this world since I was a child I was so interested in communication. For me, for some reason, I was obsessed with communication. And I was in a city, it's a city called Granada, and where people from everywhere around the world come to visit it, because it's very historical. And then I was like in the street, I was with my parents, and sometimes I wasn't with all the children playing in the park. I was doing that also, but I was also going to Japanese people, to German people, to people from everywhere around the world, and I was getting in the middle of the circle that they were talking, or they were admiring the monuments or the buildings and the architecture, and I was just standing next to them, sharing that feeling and looking at them, saying, what is there? And obviously I didn't know Japanese, and obviously I didn't know German or French at the time, but there was a communication there. I knew that there was already a communication, and because I was a boy, the adults, when they talk to children, they don't have that fear that when they speak from adult to adult. So they were all talking to me in their own language. And then I was finding that fascinating, the sound of languages. So how I started getting that connection with languages this way. And so, because at the time my heart chakra was so open, my mind didn't understand the Japanese, but my heart was feeling all the love that these Japanese ladies and these Japanese men was transmitting. And this city attracts people who are artists, because it's not the type of tourism where you go to disco or to dance, or I mean, you go also to dance, but you have a lot of art around you, so people feel inspired. So a lot of artists, a lot of poets, a lot of actors, they go there to find their inspiration. So what does it mean that when we use creativity, we are using a lot our heart chakra and our feminine energy. And then I was perceiving that as a child, and I was finding that always fascinating, how they could communicate with me and not even knowing what they were talking about. But we were with our eyes, with our signs, with the hands, with the feeling that they were transmitting in my heart. I could talk to them, and we could have a conversation, we could have a great time and have a lot of fun all together. And they were people, and my parents, they were like, again, Ismael, talking with these foreigners? They were shocked. They were shocked. And that's how I started like understanding that communication is everything. Communication is everything. But you can do it if you want to. So when people come, the adults feel so anxious or like so often I remember how we adults over the years, they've been avoiding, including myself, avoiding situation when someone speak another language because I was going to feel in an awkward situation. After those experiences, I was as an adult, I was always going back to my bubble and saying, why I didn't talk to that man? I used to do that when I was a child. I'm gonna try, I'm gonna give it a go. And then I was doing more consciously that. And then, I say as an adult, I meant to say as a teenager. As a teenager, that was already rolling inside, and I was feeling like, oh my God, communication. I really want to connect to all the countries in the world. I really need to connect to all the countries in the world because there is so much beauty missing if you don't get the awareness of what is happening to all humans. And that's how I started being more and more passionate about communication, about connection, about understanding and awareness of what we are really. And that's why today I will bring this forth because of that, because we are doing that invitation that help us to really expand and to make of all society and all this planet a better planet to live, really, all together. When we let communication flow, when we let things, go on.
I was listening, you did well.
No, it's all right, love. It's okay, love. Really. So yeah, you're going to be benefiting firstly yourselves. You're going to be benefiting at the same time and simultaneously everyone else, because that's what people, if you find out why problems happen around the world, most of them, they come from ignorance. We think that because in another country they have a different behavior, that makes those people different to us. When you start traveling around the world, when you learn a second language that is not your language and that is not usually spoken in the place where you live, and you start traveling and you start using that as a tool to communicate with other people, with other cultures, you start realizing that everybody is exactly as you are. Everybody has the feelings as you are. Everybody has nightmares. Everybody has situations where they experience that anxiety. Everybody has those moments of high moments of love as well. And you just realize that there are slight differences, but they are not truly differences that make us different. They truly are differences that make us more special, more beautiful, more attractive. So I was feeling so attracted to everything that was new. And that kept happening with the relationships I was having with ladies with different nationalities. And that's how I was expanding. At the time, I didn't think I'm doing this because of that. Mm-hmm. But today, I can look backwards and see that was happening because so many reasons, and so many reasons connected to this one reason that we are talking here. That is communication. Communication is love. Communication is vibration. Communication is unity. That's the way we are going to understand each other and act with consciousness. Mm-hmm. This is what we need to bring to our life, acting with consciousness in everything that we do, in everything that we share, and not only towards us, towards ourselves individually, towards everyone we talk to. That's why don't feel afraid. Honestly, you are going to feel in your heart who you can talk to. Look at the people's eyes and you will detect the vibration. If you feel comfortable looking at those eyes, well, maybe you feel uncomfortable if you like that person a lot, but that might tell you that you are in love with that person. I have to say that also, because guys or women who feel this is also a natural human thing that happens. And that's okay. That's okay. If that feeling nervous is good.
Yes, yeah, but to recognize the soul through the eyes, right? And then it does come up with a lot of feelings. So
yeah. So give you some times, even if you are feeling that in love moment, give yourself times and do not rush things. Just give you times. Give yourself time for expression, because sometimes we are maybe too excited and we drop something. Sometimes we are maybe we want to say something very quick and we are controlled by time. This is something also that I would recommend. If you want to have one of these nice chit chat with someone, take time, create a space for it, because if you are thinking that you need to really go in 1 hour, you're going to be in your subconscious in a way disturbed. Why? Because there is going to be always a part of you not letting you totally free. Whether if you let a window of time considerable, that will allow you to enjoy the moment with that person much more. So it's also up to us to create those spaces. And this is in our hands. And maybe you cannot do it every day, but why not to give you this? For me, this that Erin did, taking time from her agenda and sharing this with me and with humanity, is priceless. Really, it's priceless. It's a gift. Honestly, nowadays, I give more importance to moments like this than to any gift that someone could come and give me in physical. Because to me, this is what makes my life vibrate, and this is what makes life so shine like this beautiful star we have behind. That's what makes us be alive, really, when we become one. And how do we become one? Communicating, creating spaces, sharing. That's why talk, but be also the listener. So I'm gonna let Erin say something to be the listener for a moment.
Well, what am I going to talk about now?
No.
What's coming up actually is when you were talking about, you have some tea. When you were talking about just kind of being a child and just loving languages so much, and I know I've said this before in other light language discussions, but our clues to who we are lay in who we were as children, because that is before we changed ourselves to be accepted by our parents or to be accepted by society or our friends or somebody that you like. You know, we tend to shift ourselves and change ourselves. So who we were as a child is the most authentic version, and that essence is still there. So whatever you really loved and enjoyed as a child is very likely your talents and abilities in this spiritual sense. And what was interesting, Ismael, is you said about how you went back to the video from one of the light language sessions, and I was just drawing like a child, right? So you noticed that. And when I was a little girl, I wanted to be an artist. That's the only thing I knew, is that I wanted to be an artist. So there is a clue right there. And I really wanted to sing, and I just really wanted to be artsy and playful and walk in the woods and make believe. Like, it's just so much. I would talk to the trees and I would talk to animals, and my parents had a lot of animals, like not a farm, but like a homestead where there was like goats and chickens and geese. And I got really good at making animal sounds because I would sit down and talk to the animals, but I would make their sounds. So I could talk like a goat, and I could talk like a chicken, and I could talk like a goose. But honestly, I really felt like I was talented, that I was communicating with them, and my parents would laugh. But now that I look back, I was so good at making sounds. I was so good at using my voice to express myself in different ways, right? Like when I talk, I move my whole body. And so this was also just a way where, you know, our talents and abilities, they were always there. And it's really just you being authentic and natural. And this is kind of coming up from the fact that, like, we do tend to hide ourselves just to fit into society, right? But this is about opening yourself up to your authentic self. And more than likely, it's very similar to who you were as a child. And just the joy that comes through you. Like now that I'm an adult, I seek out my inner child all the time. And I was feeling kind of low. And I have days where I feel up and down, right? So we have natural days where you may feel good, you may not feel good. But anyway, I was feeling kind of low. And I said, why am I in such a funk today? Like, why do I feel so funky? What's going on? And basically the message was, do what you love. So the first thing I started doing was drawing codes, because I really love it. I actually really love all the colors. So I have a desk where my computer is, and I just received this big download that I was going to paint the whole thing in light codes, because this is where my desk is, where my computer is. So I made like a portal on top of my computer, and I had paint markers, and I just had a whole day of creativity and joy. And I feel like on days when you're not feeling good, do something that you love. Do something that will just put you into flow, because we're here to be happy. We really truly are here to do what we love. But in order for me to do my job well, I have to be excited. I have to be excited about life. And the only way to be excited about life is to be doing what you love. And as you do what you love, I fill up with energy, and it fills into everyone else. And then I'm completing my purpose, generate energy based on my own excitement and joy and bliss. And it fills into everybody else. Like the biggest part right now in these last few weeks of my getting downloads and getting just understanding things, it's really about getting your own essence out to the world in any way, whether it's your voice, whether it's art, whether it's music, whether it's just maybe it's something totally what we would say is normal or normal 3D, but maybe it's you and it doesn't seem grandiose, but it is. So anything that is authentically you, if you can find what you love and just do it and give yourself permission to do it, because in this world we're always told like, oh, I'm supposed to do this and I'm supposed to, clean up, and I'm supposed to, there's a lot of rigid thinking. So on that day where I wasn't feeling good, I had a lot of to-dos. I had a lot of things I needed to get done that day, but I cleared it all and I just painted, and it just got me back into my own energy, and it filled me back up, right? It filled me back up.
Totally. I mean, if you want to check that video, you see a child really painting. It's just like it's in an adult. That's it. It's all the gesture, all the way that children just leave even the space where they are, and all these languages are. We were playing drums at the same time, and there were moments that I was bursting in tears and laughing. And then you can see there Erin looking like this, smiling, but not doing what usually an adult will do, which is get stuck with that and distracted with that, which is okay. You get distracted with I'm not saying that this is something wrong, but that reality shows you that reality of a child being in that inner world where magic is happening, because you look at me, you see me happy, you see me laughing, and then that makes you happy, and then you come back to your painting, and you carry on in that total world. So that, to me, to observe that as an image in different images in the video, that was like, this is us coming back to our essence. This is us coming back to our essence.
If you want to teach compassion, all you can do is be compassionate and love